Okay, here's the truth about what it's actually like to leave your job and try and start your own business. So yesterday I shared a post about a story that happened after I'd sold my business, after 7 years of running my business and had millions of dollars and bought my house for cash and a fast car and all that kind of stuff, right? And I'm sharing the truth about my life. And in this post, I'm going to share the other end of the story. I'm going to share the truth about what happened when I left my job and started my business. Maybe you can relate. And I'm going to share this story because I want you to understand that my life wasn't always, buying a house for cash and fast cars. I'm not that guy. I worked hard to become that guy, and there's a whole nother story about that. But I want to share the truth because if you're there now, I want you to know that it's normal and that you're not failing and that you're not behind, okay? So here we go. So I had an okay job. It was a good job for a vehicle rental company in the UK. I was earning at the time, £43,000 a year, so it wasn't like a super amazing job. I lived in London, so I was spending beyond my means, had no cash saved, nothing. But I wanted to start my own business. I've been talking about it with my fiance for a couple of years. Anyway, I decided to start my own business. Managed to somehow save 10 grand. I had £10,000 saved, cash in the bank. And I quit my job, and I cried when I quit my job because I love the company that I work for. But I knew that if I stayed there, I was never going to really earn more than that. And I'd rather take the risk of, starting my own business and actually doing something with my own life. I just kind of felt like I was worth more than what I was being paid in my job. Anyway, left my job, bought a little flat, needed a lot of renovation. That 10 grand just disappeared within 3 months. It was gone, and we had no money. And began to get into, I already had debts, but we began to get more in debt. To put it simply, my wife and I, to support me starting my business, never mind growing it, just trying to make money to pay, bills. We lived on credit cards. We borrowed against our flats because it was a time when there was some equity, the prices were going up. So we just lived on debt. We borrowed against our properties, that kept us going. I maxed out my credit cards, so did my wife. And we literally paid for everything, absolutely everything, food, fuel, our car, the mortgage, everything was paid using debt, credit cards and loans for a whole year because I made no money, pretty much no money. I think I made £14,000 in the first year of my business. I remember, right, I did set up a spare bedroom in our flat as my office, right? I didn't have any money to buy nice stuff. So I remember me and my wife went to a secondhand kind of furniture mall. And I must have spent a couple of £100, and I got an old filing cabinet and an old wooden desk and a chair that was falling apart. And that was it, And I remember sitting at my desk in my spare bedroom with the dog. We had a new puppy. It was shitting all over the floor. We had a new baby. It was crawling around, and it was crazy times. And I remember looking at the phone, because I'd never done cold calling before. I remember looking at the phone and I didn't know how to sell. I'd never done sales before. I remember looking at it was a phone that you'd pick up like that, right? I remember I was scared to pick up the phone. I was thinking what the fuck am I going to say to these people? Who do I call? How am I going to make money? And then I remember just getting a list of these companies that I wanted to work with. And I just thought, oh, fuck it, because I had nothing to lose. I had no money, was so in debt. And if I didn't pick up the phone, it was all going to end. We were going to lose everything. Literally, I got to a point where it was just, if I don't do this, everything's over for me, my wife, my little baby girl, the dog food. This is all going to end unless I pick up the phone now. So I picked up the phone. I didn't even know what to say. I was just hi, it's Carl from iGent. That was the name of the company that no one understood what it meant at the start. They were who are you? What do you want? And I just kind of stumbled it out hi, yeah, we help, companies like you make, a bit more money in less time. And I didn't even know what I was saying, and then one company just said, oh yeah, all right, sounds okay. Do you want to come and see me, And I went and had a cup of tea with them and, and somehow managed to convince them to send me some work. And then I connected it to something else and we made a little bit of money. And yeah, honestly, this went on for a year, right? And then after the first year, started to make money, started to understand how to do this. But still, I think the next year I did it wasn't very much. And to be completely honest, because I want to be real, as well as telling you the other side of the coin when I sold my business and it all worked out. You might be watching this thinking, oh, I'm never going to do it. This was my real life. I drive to these businesses trying to do business with them, and I wouldn't even have enough fuel to put in my car to get to the meeting. That's how bad it was. But slowly and surely, service providers, my business partners said yes to me. I developed relationships with them. They began to trust me. That meant I could go out and get better quality work because I had people I was working with that I could share. I'm working with these guys, and they'd say, oh, that's cool. You're working with them. Cool. Okay, we'll send you some work. And it kind of just built from there, really, and then, I took on my first employee, Kelly. She was amazing, and she kind of took care of all the office and admin stuff, and that allowed me to go out and get more clients. And, it happened slowly. This didn't happen overnight. Then I developed a software product that cost a lot of money. I had to go and find the money, blah, blah, blah. And then I started employing more people as we made more money. And obviously employing more people costs more money, and you don't necessarily make instant more revenue as soon as you employ people. So that can be hard too. And to cut a long story short, it was really hard, and it was a grind, and we had big overdraft with the bank to keep going, and sometimes it was touch and go. It was really hard. I had people stabbing me in the back trying to, steal money off me and do dodgy deals, and all sorts of horrible stuff happened. And then really in the last 2 years, it really began to take off, and we made some, big decisions that went really well. And boom, away we went and created that big business and platform that was eventually acquired by, the largest law firm in the UK. And then that was acquired by the largest law firm in the world after that. And that's a whole different story. So look, if you're watching this, no matter where you are in that stage, I guess I just want to share with you, that it's okay, you're not in a race with anyone else. You're not behind. I always just used to feel behind, like I wasn't doing enough. It's okay. Keep going. You got this. I see you. And you're not the only one that's in that struggle, feeling that. That's a completely normal part of business. So look, if you're feeling that, if you're in it, or if you took value from me being honest there and being transparent and being vulnerable about my own journey in business and the real life that it actually was, then drop me a comment, let me know. I would love to hear where you're at in your business journey.